Hey guys, I'm back, and in this video I will be going over which event bee is the best. Now I know what you may be thinking. Well, AG, similar to your best mythic bee video, each event bee has a very important role to fill depending on the hive they're in. For instance, you won't see a cobalt bee in a red hive bee, or a crimson bee in a white hive since they're not used in either of those hives. So how could you possibly determine the best event bee in the game? Well, you see, dear viewer, I'm going to base it off of the best event bee for early game players since they're generally considered to be a mixed hive. We're going to determine the best ungifted and best gifted event bee since the answer of which event bee is the best can change depending whether or not the bee is gifted. Oh yeah, we will not be counting the digital bee, bear bee, or wind bee, since normally an early game player will not have any of those bees. But if for whatever reason they have any of those bees, I just wanted to be known that the digital bee is without doubt the best event bee in the game, or at least it has the potential to be if you are willing to get a lot of drives on it. Without drives, maybe bear bee would be better, but that's besides the point. But before we determine which event bee is the best, we need to actually know what every event bee does, excluding the digital bear and windy bee of course. First, let's start with the tabby bee. The main ability of the tabby bee is tabby scratch. What this does is whenever the ability is collected, a claw summons in the field and collects a decent amount of pollen. If gifted, this ability is always a critical hit, which means it collects a lot more pollen. The next ability is tabby love, which on its own doesn't actually collect any pollen. However, it does increase the gather amount, convert amount, and ability pollen from Tabby Scratch. This is a permanent buff to Tabby Bee, and when it is maxed out, it gains the best convert amount in the game, and the second best gather amount, only second to Digital Bee. When it's maxed out at 1000 stacks of Tabby Love, the ability begins to work in a different way. From now on, collecting the Tabby Love token grants Tabby Blessing, which gives plus 1% critical chance and plus 25% critical power. When this bee is gifted, the Tabby Blessing turns into Tabby Blessing Plus, which grants an additional plus 1% supercritical chance. Its gifted high bonus is plus 50% critical power, which is really good and generally the first bee you need to give your search tree to. Next is the Photon Bee. Its most basic ability is just a haste token, which makes the player a little bit faster. Its main ability, Beam Storm, fires 25 plus 2 per level yellow beams from the sky which collect and double all pollen from flowers they hit. If gifted, Beamstorm collects 1.5 times more white pollen, for a total of times 3 white pollen, and all pollen is instantly converted. This means that you won't have to worry about this ability filling up your backpack in a few seconds when this bee is gifted. This bee also doesn't require any sleep since it's only one of 2 bees that have infinite energy. Its gifted high bonus is plus 5% instant conversion, which is honestly really good. That's pretty much it for Photon Bee. Next is the Gummy Bee. Its next 2 abilities are really simple, pretty much they just act like gumdrops. The first one, Gummy Barrage, is pretty much just a gumdrop token, just a little bit better. The other one is Glob, which covers 49 flowers in goo. If Gummy Bee is gifted, this will cover 81 flowers instead. This bee is needed for the Gummy Mask, but you most likely won't have the Gummy Mask as an early game player. Its gifted high bonus is plus 5% honey per pollen, which means if you get 100 pollen, then you get 5 honey instantly. In other words, honey per pollen is just a slightly better instant conversion. Next is the Crimson and Cobalt Bee. Both of these bees' abilities are pretty much the same thing, they just apply to their respective colors. For instance, the first ability is the red/blue pulse. What this does is it fires a pulse that hops between your blue bees or red bees, collecting pollen around them, which gains plus 10% per level. The power increases with each hop. If you own both bees, then either of these abilities being activated will cause the same thing to happen to the opposite bee. If gifted, the pulse also causes bees to instantly convert pollen equal to 25% of the bee's convert amount, plus 25% per field boost stack. Next is the blue/red bomb sync ability, which grants 10% blue pollen and 10% instant blue conversion or 10% red pollen and instant red conversion. And it allows blue/red bombs to collect from white flowers for 30 seconds. If you have both red and blue bomb sync activated, then blue/red bombs can collect from every single type of color flower. They have the same gifted high bonus just for their respective color, being plus 10% instant red and instant blue conversion. That's pretty much it for the Crimson and Cobalt bees. Next is the Puppy Bee. Its first ability is called Fetch. What this does is it creates a ball that collects tokens and increases pollen by 100%, plus 15% per level. Collection increases per kick, and every 3 kicks you get a treat which doubles until it reaches 512 and stops giving out treats. The next ability is called Puppy Love. This ability used to arguably be the worst ability in the game until Onyx gave it a major buff. It used to just increase your bond with up to 10 nearby bees by 60, plus 20 per level, which is super useless, but then it was buffed to also give plus 10% bee move speed and plus 50% bee gather pollen for 10 seconds, plus 1 second per level. Its gifted high bonus is plus 20% bond from treats, but at an early game level that's not as useful as it would be at a late game level. It's also possible to put a bee equip on this bee that makes it a lot better. However, I doubt you'd be able to get the reindeer antler bee equip at an early game level. This bee equip will not be accounted for the best event bee for this very reason. Next is the festive bee. Its most basic ability is just Red Bomb Plus, which is just a normal bomb but it collects a lot more and has a bigger explosion. Its main ability, Festive Gift, summons a gift to every single player in the server. This gift can give some cool stuff, but it's mostly good since it spawns 2 other tokens. The first token is called Beesmas Cheer, which gives times 2 bee move speed and 1.5 times pollen for the player for 10 seconds. The other token is called Festive Blessing, which gives times 2 convert rate and 100% instant conversion. This means it's impossible to fill up your backpack during this ability, so you can get a lot of pollen if you time a lot of things correctly. The other ability is the Honey Mark, which just summons a Honey Mark. Its gifted hive bonus is 1.25 times convert rate at hive, which is pretty good at the early game stage. This bee, similar to the puppy bee, can have a bee equip on it that makes it a lot better, but again, it's highly unlikely an early game player would have this, so I'm not going to go over it. Finally, we have the Vicious Bee. Its most basic ability is Blue Bomb Plus, which is just a normal bomb but it collects a lot more pollen for blue flowers. Its main ability, Impale, summons 1 spike for each level it is, as in a level 13 Vicious Bee would summon 13 spikes. If all the spikes hit the same enemy, the damage is less than if each spike were to hit a unique enemy. The spike's damage is equal to 5% of the enemy's current health increased by Vicious Bee's attack, but also reduced if the damage is larger than 1000. If a bee is gifted, the spikes do more damage and become plus 1 level more accurate, meaning a level 11 Vicious Bee can hit the coconut crab without missing. Its gifted high bonus is minus 15 mob respawn time, which makes mob spawns faster, so you can kill them sooner and get the loot, which is alright. It's not super good, but it's not really that bad. That's pretty much it for the Vicious Bee, and that's all the bees for now. Now, I can't lie, this was a super easy choice. The best ungifted event bee without a doubt in my mind is the Tabby Bee. This is because its ability Tabby Love makes it the best bee in the game at converting and the second best in gathering, and it makes its Tabby Scratch ability really strong. There's a reason why people say to use your Star Treat on your Tabby Bee first. Speaking of which, the winner for the best gifted event bee is also the Tabby Bee. Its gifted high bonus is really good at an early game level, and it makes the Tabby Scratch ability become enhanced. And on top of all that, the Tabby Love Blessing gains Super Critical Chance, being the only other ability in the game that can make Super Critical Chance, other than the Precise Bee. Its super good convert amount and gather amount becomes 50% better when gifted, so this is definitely the best event bee for early game players. Well, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed this little sequel and the intro, because I heard a lot of you guys liked that last time. Go check out my Discord server if you want a chance at that gingerbread cup skin. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye guys.